Hello and welcome to the new style Edexcel GCSEs. These are the ones that go from grades 9 through to grade 1. This is paper 1MA1/1H. It's the first paper in the higher tier. It's a non-calculator paper, and we're picking up in question 11. One uranium atom has a mass of 3.95 times 10 to the negative 22 grams. Part A says work out an estimate for the number of uranium atoms in 1 kilogram of uranium. Okay, so the first thing we're doing, we're estimating. So we're just trying to turn this number into something that's a bit easier to work with in our heads. So I'm going to turn this 3.95 into a 4. So I'm going to say one atom is equal to 4 times 10 to the negative 22 grams. So if I've overestimated the mass, then we can clearly fit less of them into a kilogram. So we're underestimating the total number of uranium atoms, but not by much. Okay, so what we want to do now is we know how many grams there are in one atom. What we want to know is how many atoms there are in 1 gram. Well, if we convert this number to 1 gram, all we do is divide by the same number, because anything divided by itself is 1. So if we divide this by 4 times 10 to the power negative 22, never mind the fact that it's in standard notation, any number, no matter how complicated, if divided by itself, will always equal 1. So that's 4 times 10 to the negative 22. And if we divided this side by 4 times 10 to the negative 22, we have to divide this side by 4 times 10 to the negative 22. So in other words, 1 over 4 times 10 to the power negative 22 atoms are in 1 gram. Okay, so we can do this part of the calculation very easy. We just cancel top and bottom, we end up with 1 gram. But how do we take 1 over 4 times 10 to the negative 22? Well, 1 over A times B, this is not something you would write in your exam, by the way, but 1 over A times B is equal to 1 over A times 1 over B. And if we remember, when we're multiplying fractions, we just multiply the numerator and the denominator. So 1 times 1 is 1, A times B is A times B. So 1 over 4 times 10 to the negative 22 is the same as 1 over 4 times 1 over 10 to the power negative 22. And that's the number of atoms. Never mind. We'll write that after we've finished our calculations. So 1 over 4 times 1 over 10 to the power negative 22. 1 over 4 is just 0.25. And we can get that by multiplying top and bottom by 25. So we get 25 over 100. And dividing by 100, you just move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So you could also think, well, a quarter is 25% and 25% is 0.25. So we've got 0.25 times, and then 1 over 10 to the power negative 22. Well, a negative exponent is a reciprocal, and a reciprocal of a reciprocal is the same thing. So 1 over 10 to the power negative 22 is just 10 to the power positive 22. So there are 0.25 times 10 to the power 22 atoms in 1 gram. To put this back into standard form, because in standard form this coefficient, it cannot be less than 1, it has to be 1 or above, and it cannot be greater than 10, or it cannot even be equal to 10. It's got to be 1 or above, and it's got to be less than 10. So we just multiply this side by 10 to get 2.5. but that makes the whole number 10 times too big, so then we take it back to the correct amount by dividing this side by 10, and 10 to the power 10 to the power 22 divided by 10 is just 10 to the power 21. So our answer is 2.5 times 10 to the power 21 atoms in 1 gram. So we've got the number of atoms in 1 gram. All we need now is to get the number of atoms in 1 kilogram, and there are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. So if we're going to multiply this 1 gram by 1,000, we've got to multiply this number by 1,000. And to multiply a number in standard form by 1,000, we just add 3 to the exponent. So there are 2.5 times 10 to the power 24 atoms in 1 kilogram. And part B says, is your answer to part A an underestimate or an overestimate? Give a reason for your answer. Well, as we already discussed, this is going to be an underestimate. So we have underestimated the number of atoms because we overestimated the mass of an atom. Okay, I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.